clogged by the time we get out here.
Okay, we opened the meeting earlier today for a non-public session, two different topics. The motion was made that we keep those sealed. So I'm announcing that during the public session. It was unanimous that they be kept sealed. So when we approved the minutes of August 24th, and so we're at the point of public input. So I'll ask if anybody has any public input. Seeing none, we will move along with the work sessions. Will, you're on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Not sure exactly what commissioners wanted to know about this morning, so I just tried to put a few bullet points together about what's been going on the last few weeks.
Thank you for doing that. You are the only department head that puts this kind of a thing together, so I personally appreciate you doing that.
Well, thank you, you're welcome.
I shouldn't say the only one.
Others do.
There's another one.
The hay is almost all done. We've got most of second crop off. There's a couple more fields that, if the weather holds out good here when we get into mid-September, that we'll get a little bit more off those. But majority of all the first is done, and the majority, I'd say, more than probably 80% or 90% of all the second is in.
The second crop is it? 90% of the second crop?
Yeah,
Great.
it's all done.
Good.
Like I said, we got a couple more fields that we can do if the weather holds out. I want to give them a little more growth to see make it worthwhile getting them off. As you can see the numbers there, last year that counted, that 5,129 bales counted the second crop also. So we had, 2,600 bale increase this year compared to last year, and so I've been very happy with that. It's been a big difference. Wood deliveries, been trying to keep up with those with campfire wood deliveries. I don't know exactly on the numbers. I didn't have time to look it up this morning, but I know that we had about 8,000 bags in inventory that we ran out back in probably middle of July. And so we've been still doing, between us and the jail, has been a big help, bagging a lot of bags for us out back. And between the two, we've been sending out a load every week. So I'm sure the numbers are going to be pretty high once we get time to tally that all up.
Have you met the demand?
Barely, and we're starting to not be able to. We're getting to the point now where I'm mostly taking care of the local. White Lake is nice and close, so it doesn't take us a long time. We don't have a lot of fuel usage to go there, so they're kind of been focused to being our #1 customer right now. Some of the others, we've been able to keep up with them up till now, but I just had a call this week, and I'll be calling them back today, probably saying that if they want something, it's going to be a ways out because we don't have it. We're starting to run out of the dry wood to actually put in the bags. We've had a big chunk of it, but we're running out of that too. So the lawns, we're constantly trying to catch up with those. Fortunately, it's been so dry, it hasn't been growing as fast on us, which has been good. But trying to focus on keeping the wood customers happy has slowed us down on some of the lawn care. The water and the wastewater have been wastewater hasn't been too bad. We got some maintenance things coming up, but water this week has been a big job. We had a hydrant, not a fire hydrant, but a spigot, if you will, out that used to feed the old gardens and the blueberries out behind the nursing home. That had a leak that we found this spring, I should say summer, and so we dug it up this week, and it actually ended up being a lot bigger of a job than I expected. I think, best guess, I can't say for sure, I don't know, but it got damaged during construction of the newer nursing home, and possibly that damage, which was way down at the bottom, connected into the main, is just now got to the point where it came to where we could notice it. And so we had to go in there and dig that all the way down to the main, and put the new stuff in. Yesterday, we got all the new parts and put all that in.
You were able to do that yourself without hiring anybody in?
Yeah, we didn't hire anybody. Bob was a huge assistance to us yesterday in putting everything back together on the plumbing end, and a lot of it was new learning experience for me because I haven't put so many of those in, so it was great to have him there to help us with the plumbing end of it. And we did the digging ourselves. We did have assistance from another water department the first day. When we had a lot of water coming out, I needed some help. They came down and gave us a hand for a little while. But for the most part, it was our own crew that got it all done. So that's been a big deal there. And then we have sidewalk repairs for this building planned for this month, probably towards the middle to end of the month. We're going to be taking some sidewalks out and converting them back into lawn, and then others are getting taken out and getting brought the level back up where it should be, tamped down, and then have someone come in and re-asphalt that. Try to get some of these holes and divots and things out that are dangerous come wintertime, that tripping hazards and such.
Yeah.
So,
While you're there, pull out that apple tree that was girdled, the one that's on the side.
by the flagpole?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's half dead, but if you look at it closely, I think the weed whackers girdled it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you got anything else?
That's all I had.
Anybody got any questions? Chris? No?
My only question was that, you know, the bumper crop of hay for this year, I mean, it's like up 50% over last year. Is that 7,700 bales, is that like considered a normal good crop? Or is it just something that's beyond your recollection, you know?
No, it's a good crop, but there's, we changed up our fertilization last year, and I think that's contributed to it. And if we could continue that new fertilization pattern, I think there is still room for improvement. I think those numbers that are, you know, we're flirting with 8,000 bales this year, I think could easily go up to 9 to possibly 10,000 on a year. A, we keep doing the same fertilizer, and B, have more rainfall. It's been real dry, so second crop didn't grow back. It grew back better than I expected in some fields, but in other fields it didn't. Just the timing of when we cut it versus when the rains came in, and there's been a lack of it. So I think if we would have had more rain this year, our second crop numbers would have been even higher. So it's a dramatic change between the weather and what we applied, but I think there's still room for, I think we're on the right track, and we found what we need to do, and if we stuck with it for a few years, I think you'd see those numbers still increasing.
Okay, thank you.
Any mulch hay? Any hay get wet?
No, nothing got wet. Very little mulch, and what little mulch there was, it's not because it got wet, it's because the lack of the quality of grass. Speaking, you know, that little field over by the courthouse, for example.
All daisies?
Yeah, it's terrible quality over there. I mean, that's all mulch hay, but there wasn't even very much of that because we didn't fertilize that either, but nothing that got rained on.
Okay,
How about
thank
the
you.
field out back here, Will, that had all the milkweed?
That's one I haven't done second crop on yet. The first crop turned out well, that we got it off before the milkweed got too bad, but I think a lot of that will probably be mulch hay because of the amount of milkweed in it.
Okay, thank you, Will.
Thank you.
Jason?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Again?
Hey. I have a couple of policies we approved by the commissioners, and I know you probably don't have time to read today, so I'll give you copies. Maybe we can go over it
Yep,
in your future.
let's do it next week.
Yep. One's on self-inflicted injuries, one's on inmate medical co-payment. This is on medical verification. It's all medical related. and controlled medications.
Your medical professionals have looked at those already?
Yes, the actual ones are wrote, the nursing director, along in conjunction with the doctors. So, I think it's an extra copy of it too. Yesterday, Monday and, what day is today? Monday and Tuesday, we had the, our outside consultant, Kevin Ward from Alternative Solutions here. Monday, he met with the full-time mental health counselor / LADAC, case manager, and Lieutenant Phillips programs, solidifying our new programs, which Lieutenant's working on putting a flyer out. We'll have to, it's called Trust, and the acronyms, and I'll have to get back to what it is because we went over quickly yesterday. But we're gonna have a flyer for you so you know exactly what it stands for and where we're going with it. Because that was Monday, because I was at the other meeting. Tuesday, I met with a consultant with Rockingham County Superintendent, along with several of his staff members, including clinicians, mental health clinician, case manager. We also had a couple prosecutors from around the area, different police departments, probation, and a few other people around the table, looking at and listening to our programs and giving their input into it. We expect to be up and running September 19th is the kickoff date to start the, basically they're in class all day long. They're in class all day long for most days for the sentenced high-risk offenders that meet, there's an assessment process. It's called ORS. They meet that assessment process and they're sentenced. They'll be going through the program. And so we're gonna give it a whirl. We're gonna start with it. There'll be bumps in the road, but we will start with it, and we'll be collecting data as we go along, because part of the case management is following for a year, collecting data of how that goes, and jobs, getting to doctor's appointments, treatments, all those things. So looking very much forward to that. It was a very good meeting. The Superintendent Rockingham was pleased with, because we hold some of his females, was pleased with the programs. He got a tour of the jail, was pleased with how it's clean and quiet and how it looks inside. So we thought that was very positive for us yesterday. As we sit right now, we have a total of 80 inmates in-house. We're responsible for a total of 89 inmates. We have some scattered out through other jails. 6 of them have, and we have 6 from Rockingham County right now, females.
Are they males or female?
Females. From Rock, we hold females because they don't hold any females.
Okay.
Right now, we have the electrician over with Bob's help looking at our parking lot lights. I had all the lights fixed. When they run, they're fantastic, and they have run in years, but there seems to be a short somewhere. Time to get rain. So now they're going through looking to see where that short is or it can be fixed. So we're working on that.
I thought he was a plumber. You're an electrician too, Bob?
No, he brought the electrician
I have an
over.
electrician in.
Oh, okay.
With Bob's help, he brought the electrician in.
Okay.
Bob does a little of everything, actually. September 12th is the next academy, and we have 2 people going to the academy starting September 12th. And beyond that, that's where we stand right now. We're fully staffed, and things are plugging along pretty well as it starts right now.
How many inmates you letting out on the farm, roughly?
Right now, I mean, between 6 and 8 usually.
6 and 8?
Yeah. And then we'd also been working with the farm on the interior of our loading area to bag wood. So we've got some outside, some technically inside bagging.
Is that
wood.
working okay?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah. Questions from the board? Anybody?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jason and Bob knows, and I'm sorry, Willie's left, but this water project here for the last couple of days has been a mean one. Do these kids that work, you had 2 inmates there that really worked. I mean, they were up to their ankles and knees and boots full of mud. Do they get anything besides good time?
From us?
Yeah.
Not usually. I mean, Will, if he notifies us that they did, he usually gets some more food or treats in the nursing home. Will has in the past also written them letters. Most of the time, we don't know what they're doing out over there. They're under the farm's supervision, so
Okay.
we'll write letters and do things for them. And if he tells us they need something, we also take care of it as well. But we have, a lot of times don't know what projects they're on, because they're under a supervision, they've got a lot of different projects, between mowing, haying, wood,
Yeah.
water project.
Well, and Bob will tell you, if these kids weren't there, the project wouldn't have probably gotten done in the time that it did.
Right, they were knee deep in mud, they helped out a lot.
They really, they're just a tool, and they were outstanding.
And they moved, some of them moved furniture recently and did that. They do a good job under the supervision of between Bob and Will.
Bob, you know the names of those people?
I don't, but I can find out.
Maybe you can find out, because they ought to be recognized by the superintendent at least.
It's fine, yeah. I can check with Will as well.
Okay. Anything else you got?
We're doing very well on revenue. Just give you positive information, more than expected.
Mm-hmm. Good. Any further questions?
One was from, I know who they both were, one's from North Conway and one's from a running inmate from down there in Stratford.
Okay. I can find who they are. We can take care of that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bob?
Jay,
Doing a good job, Jason. Keep it up.
Thank you,
Okay.
Jason.
Jay,
Thank you, sir.
Morning, Bob.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
How you doing?
how would you spell it?
You have a copy of the contract from Lime Green Heat?
Dickinson,
I don't have,
Should be in your folder.
It's just a one-page.
Yeah. It's a one-page contract.
It's-
yeah.
Looks like this.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
it.
That is the contract that they presented us. It looks good to me. It's pretty basic. If that satisfies you, then I would ask that you sign it.
There's the term. How's that going? Okay. That's a one-year contract.
Yep.
If you feel there's any more detail needed, I can certainly request it.
Give you a chance to read it.
Does seem pretty simple. And this is a new company, and I guess you weren't here,
No, I wasn't here last week, but I wrote a...
but they've been around a while. They're reputable.
Yeah, they gave me references, I confirmed those references. Everybody's happy with the service that they've been provided. and the
You don't
product.
feel like if for some reason they were unable to deliver, that we could still be able to find some wood pellets somewhere.
Well, the company that serviced us last year said, call us if you need us.
Okay, so, because there's nothing in there that talks about
Right.
what if they don't perform, but if they don't perform,
Mhm.
what are the odds of us getting anything anyway?
Right.
Do you have any problems with that?
No, seems fine, go ahead.
That's your recommendation, right?
Yes, please.
Do you have a motion for me to sign this contract with Lime Heat?
I'll make a motion, we sign the pellet contract with Lime Green Heat from Lime, New Hampshire.
Second,
And it's a one-year contract.
It's a one-year contract
$237 a ton.
for $237. All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so voted.
You can keep that. Just,
Anything else, Bob?
Send me a photocopy if you want, that's fine. No, just a small update on the fiber optic project. The company that we hired to do that is nearing completion of their end of the contract. They're here today. I'm not sure that they'll be finished up today, but if not, they're very, very close. And then John has to start doing his thing, and I've talked to him, and he's engaged. He's already started ordering the equipment that we need, and it's moving forward.
John, you want to speak to that?
Oh, John is here. I didn't even see you walk in.
As Bob said, the fiber optic installers, they're actually way ahead of where I thought they'd be at this point. I'm pleasantly surprised at the speed at which they're completing their project. They may be done today, if not one more day, and they should be done here, and the physical installation of the fiber between the buildings will be complete. I started about a month ago ordering my equipment to actually make the fiber optic communicate. I have one more piece coming in today for the first 2 switches to complete the initial testing and initial setup of the master switch, if you will. I only ordered the first 2 for a couple of reasons. One, it's a new line of switches from Hewlett-Packard that I have not used before, but they are very highly rated, and they are from Hewlett-Packard, which is a great name in the business. So I wanted to get 2 in, test them, make sure they work before I get the rest of them in, because we're talking 9 switches total at up to $2,000 per switch. So I'll have to go concern.
9 times 3,000?
2,000.
2,000.
Yeah. And that was all factored into the project, so we're ahead of schedule there. So again, I should have the first 2 completely done and tested in my area. We're not planning on going live with these for several more months. Primary reason is that in order to purchase the switches, I can get them at better pricing through normal retailers like Amazon, Newegg, places that us IT guys buy them, versus CDW. And the difference being is that CDW, we have a line of credit. I could order all of it, they would invoice us, good to go. Amazon, Newegg, they don't do that, so we have to use credit cards. And when I buy stuff like this, I purchase them through Ken's credit card, and he doesn't have enough credit to buy the whole line of product at once. And we see no reason to upgrade his credit line just for one purchase, so I'm just spreading it out over several months. But we're saving upwards of $200 per switch by buying them from these other retailers. So our initial project schedule was for 3rd quarter of this year, and we are absolutely on schedule to get the project completed on time and under budget.
So we will be all connected by the 1st of the year?
Absolutely. Physically connected as far as my networks are concerned. We talked about integrating phone services, but, and we will do some of that on a partial basis where we are able, but in order to complete that particular end of it, we would need new phone systems here in this building. But when those come online, at whenever their regular schedule is, they will incorporate in as part of one master phone system at that time. But that's, again, those are long-range goals, which we discussed starting last year.
So the 1st of January, what's this going to do for us?
The very first thing is going to allow all department heads to have direct access into the ACS system so that they can run their own reports to see where they're at and not have to contact the business office to run those reports.
Mm-hmm.
That's the very first
That's
thing.
number
we're gonna
one.
do. Number 1, right there. And then over the course of calendar year 2017, my job will be to merge all the networks into one master network so that we can combine email services, combine servers, all that type of thing.
Refresh my memory, John, did we give you a 2-year extension or a 1-year
You
extension?
gave me a 2-year extension.
So that includes 2, we're not gonna get stuck in the middle of the year going out for,
Well, my contract is good until the end of March of 2017 right now.
that's, okay, that's my question. Thank you.
Anybody else got any questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mary Jane.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I I wanted to update you on my project to place a monument at the County Farm Cemetery. And coincidentally, last night, my last donation came in, so I've met that goal for the fundraising. And so I'll be able to have the order part of the bronze sent out today. And I just spoke with Will. I'm really glad he was here because I was going to give him a call after the meeting. And so once I get the plaque, well, not I get the plaque, Arthur's Memorial up in Conway is handling this. And when they get the plaque, which is within 4 to 6 weeks, believe it or not, it depends on the weather. If it's too cold, then they have a problem with the adhesive on granite. So, so I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to have this happen in mid-October or have to wait until the spring. It literally depends on the weather. The scroll is 26 by 28 inches horizontally, and I have on this bookmark here what the words are that I wanted to.
What's it made out of?
The plaque itself is bronze.
Bronze?
And Will said that he would get a piece of granite, probably from a part of a foundation where there are crumbling pieces of granite around. And so what would need to be decided at that point is the stone cutter and the person from Arthur's Memorial would go to wherever that stone is. So someone had mentioned last time that they were possibly interested in bringing it over on a carriage with a horse kind of thing, which is, you know, it's something that was mentioned here by one of you, one of the commissioners made that as a possibility. Okay, so if it's not going to happen that way, then
You're looking for somebody to transport the stone and the plaque to the cemetery?
no, I just want to know if the horse and carriage thing was going to be part of that, and if it's not, then we'll just, you know, go from there. So I just wanted to let you know that I've reached the fundraising
Good.
part of it, and that, you know, I'm going ahead with the plans, and I wanted to share, you know, what the inscription was
Yep.
going to be. And of course, it's not gonna have, like, the website stuff at the bottom of the bookmark is just for, you know, my book and my website. But the actual, what is written there, pretty much in a Victorian style. And it's, like I said, gonna be 28 by 26. It looks like a scroll, and it's made of bronze, and it will be adhere to the granite, which would probably be no bigger than this chair, probably even smaller. So,
That was the date of the cemetery, 1870?
that's when it began.
That's when it started?
1870.
Any idea how many are in there?
Well, there are 298 stones, but there's also a section of repeated numbers from 199, I believe, up to, so there's this one row that's the same numbers. So I'm not really entirely sure. I'd say at least 300, but it seems like there will be more than that because of the repeated numbers.
How many are in that book in the office, Mary Jane? Seems to me there was over 200.
Yeah, there were, it was in that number of 200. I have the records that I found in the town hall, in the town vault, that had 268 names in it. So I can email, you know, what I have found to, or just give a copy of that to you for your records. I gave one to the people at the library, and some of the historical societies have asked about it. There have been many people who have actually contacted me and asked about a name, and they've found relatives that were not in their family trees, and they're able to kind of locate the area, you know, where they were buried. So to me, that's been really the rewarding part of this. So
Great. So are you saying you're finished with your project? Or will be?
Yeah, that will be the culmination of it, because the book has been out for a little over a year. It's doing really well, and yeah, so I can definitely be more focused on the next book in that project,
Yeah.
so.
Thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a great service to the county.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm really grateful that this happened, and I'll let you know exactly what I find out as far as a timeline
Mhm.
goes, and the man up in North Conway at the Arthur's Memorial.
Okay, very good.
Okay, thank you very much.
Anybody, any further comments?
No, I mean, I think my only comment was that, if we needed to try to set a parameter for the stone size, but,
Right.
To make sure there's some sort of,
Mhm.
not bigger than this, not smaller than that, but if Will is gonna be the person in charge of transporting it,
Yeah,
Or you're
I told him
selecting
I
it.
would let him know if the horse and carriage thing was going to happen, and if not, then he was going to bring it over.
So you're gonna see the stone first before it's delivered?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So what would happen?
Does it have to go up to the memorial to have them mount it? No?
No, they will come to
They'll come
wherever
here?
that is. So it's up to us if we want to have it done, at the farm location or at the location where it's going to be, which is another thing. I would need someone to designate where it's going to go. And it isn't going to be this great big, huge monstrosity of a thing. It's
Yeah,
definitely going to be
yeah.
very simple. And so if you wanted to talk to Will about your ideas for, like the
appropriate placement
Right,
within the
exactly.
cemetery and
Yeah,
the
because I was
size of
over
the-
there last week looking around, and I thought, someone needs to make that decision,
Yeah.
and,
I think Commissioner Babson could handle that. He's local, just down the street. He could probably
I'll probably be
select the site.
Probably the one using it before you two guys, so.
I don't know about that, but,
okay.
but, yeah, that's the only thing I can see is just that, maybe we need to, some of those little final details about
Right.
where is it gonna be and,
Exactly.
if Will's gonna pick out the stone and we got the basic idea that it's just gonna be about the size of your average office chair, I don't think the commissioners have a big qualm about the size, and you told us the size of the plaque.
Depends on the size of
So
the
it's just a matter of-
bronze plaque, too.
But she said it was 26 by 28.
Okay.
Yeah,
That the plaque was
horizontal.
gonna be, it's gonna be about like that approximately. So, we know the size of the plaque and we know the approximate size of the stone, so, maybe Commissioner Babson or Will or somebody can just come up with what they feel is an appropriate spot that we can
Yeah.
set aside, so,
Great.
yeah,
Okay.
it all sounds wonderful.
Excellent.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
It's
Lynn,
amazing.
got any good news for us today?
Yes, actually, I do. I'm
Great.
gonna go to the Bahamas for a couple months.
You
Yeah.
I want to go with
I've
you.
been, increased the, one of the amount that was given to me. We started off at 45,000, and then they cut it to 2,000. And then I spent some time with Bill, and he's gonna do it backwards, bring it back up to 45,000.
Now, who's doing that?
Mr. Marriott?
Marriott?
And so that money's for equipment?
Yeah.
Okay.
None of that could go towards the bond?
It's,
You needed what, eight?
it's
we
a
figured
nonprofit thing.
$8,000 for that, was it?
Well, the bond is supposed to be $100,000.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, but what was it costing, Lynn?
The bond itself, because I've done 6 or 7 of them up and down, they went from 400 to 500, depending on which company was doing the bond. So,
$500?
yeah.
I thought,
And I have,
Put the
I've set
amount,
aside the 500 cash, so it's there when the time comes.
so it's 500 for the bond for the $100,000 bond?
Yep.
I thought it was more than that.
Yeah,
I thought
to
it
me
was
it's
7,000 or
5,000.
8,000.
So it's 5,000 for the bond and then another 3,000 they needed for
Yeah.
something else. It's
Yeah.
a total of $8,000 that you were trying to,
Well,
had a shortfall of.
the companies that I've been through, it was 4,000 or 5,000. It depended really on the company that you're using.
Huh.
So it's at 4,000 or 5,000 or 400 or 500? Because you just stated
400 or 500,
400 or 500
yeah,
for the bond.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's set up for $100,000 bond.
And that's acceptable, no matter, as long as it's 100,000, it's acceptable by the Department of Education.
Yeah, that's exactly. And the only other thing is that they're dealing with their $3,000 cash that they want. which
Oh,
is-
yeah, that's the application fee.
Yeah. that's-
3,000
Oh,
application fee.
okay, all
I
right.
knew there was
There's
two
always
segments.
some, they change their mind every other minute, so. But I think it's, we're getting into September and we've got applications out there for students now from this whole area. We've put it out there. So I think by the middle of the month, we'll have enough, even if there's 20 students down there, getting it all started. So. sure.
Got any students signed up?
Yeah, right now I have 8 students signed
8?
up, so. And tuition is still only at $50, so, because that's what they wanted. And eventually, it would, you know, because we have a $10,000 thing that they're supposed to get into first, but the Department of Education threw that out. So
Hmm.
they're so nice, you know.
Right.
But, so between now and September, middle of September, we'll be working on the bond and try to get that off. Because the sooner we get everything square, the more we can move ahead. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so,
What happened to the flooring? Is that still in the works?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Anything else you got?
We're doing a special thing down there to raise some money for Halloween. If you want to see something funny, you gotta come down and see what my boss lady did down there, so.
Uh-huh.
But, because there's, somebody's doing the same in the front of the building, eventually they deck it all out, so. We're gonna just make it a social thing and
Mhm.
we can raise probably $5 to $10 a person.
Okay.
So, so your current plan for opening and having students begin their coursework will be when?
The middle of September.
The middle
Be
of
the
September?
start, and we'll move ahead as fast as we can.
The first class would be in September?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be
January
done in
1st
January.
of 2017,
Well,
I thought you said last
What
week.
yeah, but what I've decided after going around and finding it, if we can get 10 students in there, then we can move along.
Get
with-
started.
In the other, because I'd rather be starting and not.
I see. So even if you just have like a pilot year of 10 students,
Yeah,
Mhm.
you already have 8 signed up.
yeah.
Okay, because you kind of threw the number of 20 out. We're-
But,
25.
the restaurant people that I talked to are gonna give some tuition money to the students so we can increase that as we go along.
Hmm.
And so we can do that. So they're really hurting in that industry.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much where we are right now. We're moving much faster than, because we've been marketing for the students. And also, we have a couple new things that we've added to the program is I have a couple of ladies that are coming in and doing pastries and all different kinds of that kind of stuff, so the students can get some of that. And whatever they make, we'll sell it someplace.
Were those homemade muffins the other day?
Yeah.
Well, if I'd known that, I'd taken one.
Well, I'll get some the next Wednesday.
No, he brought out a box for the people working in the on the water. And I thought they came from Dunkin' Donuts, so.
No.
You always know about the food.
Well, I wasn't there. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "You want one?" And I said,
Yeah.
"No."
Well, I'll bring them next Wednesday.
Thank you, Len.
One of the things I wanted to, I've learned during the time I've been here, the inmates are really good. I mean, they came in and did a lot of painting for us. Then when we had to get rid of that big dishwasher, they came in and picked it up and put it on the truck and got it out of there. So I'm glad that they're out there.
Out of those 10, you're gonna start in September, any inmates?
I was talking with them out there this morning,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go down and see if we can get a couple interested, because they could get some skills out.
Okay. Very good, thank you. Any questions from anybody?
No.
No? Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds like we're on the right track again.
Moving ahead.
I'll
Howie,
come back.
Howie, I need to apologize. When I said to Will, he's the only one that gives a report. You do too.
That's quite all right. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning,
morning.
Cheryl.
Good morning.
Have a couple
Based
things-
on the
What's that?
number of sheets of paper, how we wouldn't going away.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's true, but we're not killing any trees today, so just
Okay.
an oral update. Our census is 102, we have 1 pending discharge and 2 pending admissions, which would bring us up to full with a skilled census of 4.
Wow,
So
good.
we're full, which is good. Our skilled census has been running less than target, but not bad. So we're not doing badly on that end. Here to report that we had a great state licensure survey. Not perfect, but great. And that is a credit to all the staff and all departments. When the state comes in, they're not just looking at nursing. I think there's a perception that it's just nursing. Now, it's especially nursing, but it includes dietary. It includes, and there's a whole component of life safety that Bob shepherds through. What deficiencies we had were minor, they weren't systemic, they were isolated. There was one that was particularly aggravating on the life safety side. Up until when we found out at the inspection, if you have a closet that has combustible materials in it that is over 100 square feet, it needs to have a door closer. That's no problem. The building is new. Everything was built to code. That was fine until apparently, unbeknownst to us, unbeknownst to the inspector, same inspector who's been here for 3 years, that rule changed in 2013 to reduce the size of the closets from 100 square feet to 50 square feet, which left us with about 8 closets that didn't have the necessary door closer. Not a big deal, but enough to get a citation.
Huh. Go ahead.
But it was fine last year when he was here.
I was gonna ask Howie, what are some of the things you get dinged for?
Well, the door closer on those closets were one. We actually had an isolated one in dining services where supplemental nutrition coming out of the freezer has to be immediately dated for its expiration date after it thaws. Well, and we lagged in that. What they do, they tend to want to let it stop being cold so you can write on it. Well, that's not, you can't have any lag time. Out of the freezer, has to be instantly labeled. They don't want to be left with any confusion that you're waiting 1 hour or 2 hours before doing it. So, an aggravating minor, but that is the rule. There was one in nursing. When a resident is given 2 pain medications, there has to be special requirements to show the parameters for when 1 pain medication is given instead of another. Well, it is the rule, but we had an isolated instant where that wasn't complete, and that's the rule. Truth is, every nurse knows the difference between a Tylenol and a Vicodin, and you don't give when you give one, when you give the other, but it has to be, and it is now. We've already made all the corrections to all the isolated incidents.
Mhm.
But when they come in, they go through everything, personnel records, everything. It's pretty comprehensive.
Remember, David, about 10 years ago, they zinged us for, we didn't have a sprinkler over the metal ash cans outside the building?
Yeah,
It's just, some
well,
of them make sense and some of them don't.
Well, we are second only to the nuclear industry in terms of the level of inspection. We get inspected much more thoroughly than hospitals do, interestingly. Many hospitals are essentially self-inspected through groups that they join. We don't have that option, JACO being one. You can actually subscribe to a group that does your certification that the state takes in lieu of inspection. Not so with long-term care.
because the state does it for the feds, inspecting the nursing homes, you mean they don't have a group that inspects the hospital?
They don't, because they...
Does the feds do it?
Well, the feds take that certification from an accredited body, the Joint Chiefs of Accreditation of Hospitals, in lieu of a state inspection. The hospitals do have the choice, if they don't want to pay JACO for free, they can get a state inspection, and many hospitals are starting to do that.
Oh.
Some hospitals are starting to do that in any case.
So when the report's complete, it'll be forwarded to us?
Definitely.
Okay.
In fact, we have not received it back. We'll be receiving, probably within the next 2 weeks, the full report. In fact, we've already actually done our part, the plan of correction. So we'll be sending to you both the state report with the deficiencies plus the plan of correction, all at the same time. So that'll be in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Go ahead.
Howie, when they rate us, how do they do it? I mean, they don't do like a hotel 5 stars, but they
They do
say
exactly.
successful or excellent or,
Well, they don't, because, you mentioned the federal inspection. We're also subject, what typically happens, or what oftentimes happens, the federal government is essentially looking to the state to do their inspections.
Right.
So the federal government will also inspect how the state does that. Oftentimes, a week after the state inspection, the federal government comes in with a separate team. They're checking not so much us, but the state team that came in, which makes the state team and sometimes a little paranoid. So some things that would have been, why don't you just fix that next week because they know and trust us,
Yeah.
they can't, because the next day, a federal, and that's actually what came up with the issue with the closets. We were willing to fix it right then and there. But the state surveyors have to be protective too.
Yeah.
But I do have good news. I am the bearer of good news from the state. The state appropriates for Medicaid expense so many dollars per year, a fixed number. They're somewhat guessing how much money they can pay nursing homes throughout the year, based on past experience and the number of days that are done and utilization. And, it's not just the number of days, but it's the level of care that's needed. So at the end of the year, they almost always have something left over. If you remember last year, that number was about $5 million that the state wanted to keep. And it got to be a very protracted challenge. Then Commissioner Nick Tunkus wanted to use it for other Department of Health and Human Services programs. Well, the legislature stepped in subsequently and actually made a law that couldn't happen. But I am glad to report that out of 2015's surplus money, we will be receiving, I think in 2 weeks, something on the order of just a little over $20,000 of of additional cash flow that we could not really have predicted or known about. We'd hoped for, but, and didn't really have any reason to believe what number that'll be. But, so within a couple of weeks, we'll be getting a little shot in the arm with revenue. So
Good.
that was good news to receive. Other things are, so I think that's, we've been very fortunate, very blessed actually, to have a volunteer step forward to do all the weeding at the island at the flagpole.
A volunteer, one of our employees, or?
No, volunteer, one of family members of a resident.
Oh,
And Patrick has been out there, and I'd encourage you to take a look. We're gonna be doing some recognition for him coming up, but he's done an exceptional job, and he's unstoppable. Not only did he fix, what was there, he went out to various landscapers and got donations of additional plant materials.
It really looks nice, finally.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, and he did it in such short order. One guy, and you never underestimate what one dedicated person can do in just a matter of a few days. He transformed it.
And we can't give his last name because of HIPAA regulations, because his family is in the nursing home?
No, HIPAA gets blamed on a lot of things.
Well, who is it then?
Patrick, and it's not the same name as the resident, and I believe I'm not sure, so rather than guess, I haven't it written down, but we are gonna do a special recognition
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say,
him.
I think what we're driving at is clearly deserves some special recognition.
It's truly exceptional.
And, I mean, it just sounds like something of that nature would be so easy for some sort of garden club or friends group or some people to get together that would want to sponsor that, to put up a little sign. And
It'd be wonderful to have,
It
especially
seems like a
adopt
no-
the spot would be wonderful.
it seems like a no-brainer. But great thanks to him.
and if it
For
means
this.
any more to him, if you wrote up a citation or something, the commissioners could sign it.
Oh, definitely. In fact, at the presentation, want to strategically schedule it for
Okay.
a Wednesday morning, so that could bring him over for the publicity, and then have a separate recognition immediately after with the residents and the other staff there.
Okay.
Because it is truly exceptional. We have a lot of good people doing all kinds of things behind the scenes, but this stands up and demands attention.
So,
We don't do enough of that in thanking people or writing a little note to people saying they've done an outstanding job and gone beyond their duties or responsibilities.
Well, we actually have a separate program for it, of course, between the activity staff and myself, who seems like we're always writing thank you letters. We've had some wonderful trips. We had, I think, 18 residents go out on pontoon boats on Lake Ossipee. Essentially, it started out as a Rotary-sponsored group, but it ended up being one of the Rotarians, setting it up. And not only did he use his boat, but he got two of his friends. So we had 3 pontoon boats take our residents out at absolutely no charge. And
Great.
it worked out for a wonderful day.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people to thank, and someday I'd like to see it be part of a formal annual recognition. But what we are able to do is our present program is called Heartfelt Recognition. And so that we have a gathering and we present them a pin and a gift and some publicity to thank them for what they do.
Yep. Go ahead.
David, I'd take exception to what you said. I think the Board of Commissioners over the last 4 or 5 years have done a very good job thanking people that have
What
contributed.
did I say?
You said you don't think we do enough.
We don't do enough?
Oh, we never
Well,
do.
there's-
We
never-
as a
never-
board have
can't
done
do
it
enough.
when we hear about it. We
Yeah,
don't,
that's
we don't
true.
hear about it. I mean, we're writing letters all the time thanking people when someone comes to us and tells us. That's why I was asking who Mr. Patrick the gardener is, so
Yeah.
we could write him, but.
Oh, you're gonna have a chance to stand with them for a photograph.
Oh, okay.
And perhaps we can work up a proclamation ahead of time.
Something.
I'll give him directions to my garden.
He's an inspiration.
You come in second after me.
He was smiling the whole time. He actually enjoys, I can't imagine anything worse than weeding. So I'm not the one to look to for gardening advice, but he loved doing it, and it showed. He had a real passion for making it look right.
It really looks good.
It does.
no, I'll definitely check it on my way out. I just have a question. We mentioned about the reams of paper that you used during the course of your report to us, and I was just wondering when we might expect the next presentation of the reams of paper.
Whatever you'd like it.
Well, I thought we were gonna see it on a monthly basis.
What is that you're looking for? I'm
You know how
sorry.
he would report to us the status and the revenue.
graphs.
The graphs and everything and things, so.
Something that we could do if we didn't want to kill trees is it could all be done in terms of projection on the board or the screen, but that is up to you.
Yeah, and it could just be electronically sent to us, so we'd have if we ever really wanted to print it up, we could print it up ourselves or
That's
just
true.
Or
look
print
at
out
it.
the pages we need.
Right, or just look at it electronically.
Yeah.
No, you just need to tell me. I keep up with most of it. I've been holding back because it ends up being an awful lot of work, and I leave it to you to decide and Ken to decide what's needed, what's wanted, and when you want it, but you tell me when and.
Well, I thought we had pretty much decided we wanted to see it about once a month.
Once a month? Yeah.
The third week of the month, or we were wanting to be updated monthly on those reports to see how it's progressing. And I guess we really haven't really seen any updated numbers since the June 30 numbers at this point, right?
Yeah.
So,
And those are the last confirmed, what we have, those are the last confirmed numbers that we have from downstairs. So we have some numbers in progress. But we have June 30 as our last internally audited numbers. But I'll talk to Chuck to see if we can't get some more current ones, at least to pick up July.
okay. But your numbers are self-generated, right, or no?
No, we still draw, but there are some things that are not complete. There are anything that involves some transfer, sometimes revenue numbers lag a little bit behind expenses. Expenses, we're pretty much right on top of, but revenue can lag depending on when it's posted.
Okay. That's also part of what we wanted to see as part of, as you may recall, as part of that report was the accounts receivable metric and.
Oh, and Paula is right on top of that. That she does, and she actually presented that at the last delegation meeting, and that was very favorable. I think that was down to something just over $200,000. So, no, that's being done, and that'll be part of this report as well.
Okay, great. Sounds good.
Are we fully staffed over there now? Or
No.
where are we lacking, I should say?
Our lacking is on nights. So we have, and possibly on 3 to 11, we have probably 2.5 positions, full-time night, full-time 3 to 11, and I think a part-time night that we're still advertising for. And I think we're fully staffed in all other departments. But the night is still proving to be we're somewhat hopeful now that we're transitioning back to the school year. A lot of people won't make their changes until the school year is more important than the first of the year for us. So we're hopeful that we're going to be able to bring in more people. We're also looking at different ways of doing it by direct mail, inviting in staff. We're not going to try to rely directly on or exclusively on newspaper advertising, because that seems to be preaching to the same choir all the time, and we need to. The fear is if you keep fishing in the same hole, you're gonna get the same results. We gotta start doing something a little different.
The hiring process over at the nursing home, would you just briefly explain when you have a vacancy, from that point on, what happens?
Well, when we have a vacancy, we notify HR so that advertising can be coordinated.
So HR does the advertising?
HR does the advertising.
Okay.
And then people come in a couple of different ways. If they pay attention to the advertising, they come to HR. If they don't, or they hear about it third hand, then somebody tells them there's an opening, oftentimes people will walk in. And so that sometimes HR does the preliminary interview, sometimes we're doing the preliminary interview, which we really characterize as being recruiting. You know, if we have somebody, we actually welcome them to entice, and then set up an interview with Lori and Megan. Sometimes those referrals come from HR, and which is fine as well. Any way that somebody accesses things, HR also coordinates getting things posted onto the county website. And so that's how the process starts, and
Okay.
then the paperwork begins.
Okay. I thought I understood that the scheduler did some of that work.
She does the paperwork essentially after the hire.
Okay.
Under Elaine, just there's a REMA paperwork. I think there are 22 different items that we have to have. We have to get approval for the state under what's called the Bureau of Elderly and Adult Services, a release for a licensed staff, and those are the positions we're talking about. All kinds of things. The HR will document some things like the immigration status, the I-9 form, but the criminal background check is initiated by Elaine. So it's not a natural separation of responsibility, but we adjust to it. So Elaine's doing some, Monette's doing some, and then Patty's doing some, and then we start, once we get the health part approved, then I sign off on some, and then we schedule the orientation and we get somebody working.
Okay.
But our hard part isn't the paperwork, our hard part is getting the people in the door, especially on nights. So if anybody knows of any nurse especially, LPN or RN, that is interested in nighttime work, be glad to have them.
Mhm. Did you see a final evaluation?
I did, from Ken's, yes, with the commissioner input, no. I understand there was commissioner input, I have not seen that yet.
We did it.
I understood that, I was told by Ken that you had, I just haven't seen it
Seen
yet.
it as of yet. I mean, I think it was just last
Okay.
week, so.
But
Then you left.
Ken and I met and gone over it at length, his.
Okay.
But I'm interested in seeing you before I put together the action plan that should come out of that. I want to be sure to include all elements. Because we're actually at a good point now that we will be making some bigger cultural changes in terms of how we all do things, but in specific, how I do things. Because it has been tomorrow 4 years since I've been here, and want to transition into a different kind of role that I think aligns, that I'm going to guess aligns with exactly what the three of you would want, which is going to involve much more being on the floors, much more being the external communicator, doing external things. It's going to mean realigning some reporting things in-house to make room and time for that, but it's definitely the right time for me to be leaping into that role. Things are not perfect, but things are running smoothly. So this is exactly the right time for me to make this transition, which correspondingly will improve staff relations, resident relations, and resident-family relations for me to be more of that role. Outside community, I've already scheduled at least one speaking engagement in Conway. We need to make connections up there. I need to be the liaison to the community more and more. And there are some things that only come with the role, but it's really taken, things move slowly. It's taken a while for us to get the systems in place and the staff members in place, but we have a great team over there, so this is the right time.
Okay. We did not evaluate you. All we did was made comments. Ken does the evaluation. We make the comments on his evaluation.
No.
And add anything else that we think. We don't go through the whole list.
But I know in the past, it's been in emphasis of the commission, and rightfully so, for pushing me into exactly the kind of role that now is exactly the right time for me to be engaging in. And so it's really gonna be, it might be eye-opening for some of the staff and some of the residents, but it's the way, it couldn't have been done earlier without letting critical things slip. Now, the critical things are under control, so I will be back out on the floors.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all I have for you.
Anybody got any
No?
further questions? No? Thank you, Howie.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Cheryl.
Next item on the agenda is Farm Committee appointment. I've talked with
Gentlemen?
Steve Knox, who's heading up the Farm Committee. He's been having problems in getting a quorum to take action on things. And so I said, well, the board could appoint more people to the committee if that's what you need. He said yes. He said he'd like to get Jessie Wright. She's from the Northern Saco Land Trust, and she was hired for 2 years to do similar of what the committee is doing, where she is a paid person from some other source, I'm not sure where it is, but I would like to propose that we add Jessie Wright to the farm committee as a motion.
So moved.
Can we wait a week and poke around and see who Jesse White is?
Well, the recommendation from him is to put her on.
Oh, okay, all right, so he's.
So he has met with her.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Feels very comfortable and thinks that would be a great addition to the committee.
Good enough for me.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's been moved and seconded. All those in support of the motion say aye.
All right.
Aye.
And so be it. All right, the yellow folder. Hales location checks. Okay, these are receipts.
These are the deposits,
Yep.
here are the checks. There's a paycheck for her. Oof. We have to approve that check for our payment from Hales location. There's a bill for Carbonite, which is a backup service. Fairpoint Communications. And travel expenses.
What is this carbonite?
Carbonite, they're a backup service. And here are 2 Fridays, which he works at Hales location and charges us mileage to go to the bank and the post office.
Is there a motion to approve all those bills?
Make a motion to approve the bills in the yellow folder on 8/31.
Hales location?
The Hales location.
Second it. Any further discussion? All those in support of the motion say aye.
All right,
Aye.
Okay, next item is approval of some non-public minutes. Can't discuss them, but we can approve them and either keep them sealed or unseal them.
I'll make the motion. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of session 1, non-public, August 24th, and keep them sealed.
Keep them sealed?
Yep.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
All right,
Aye.
Aye. 31, 16.
what's today's date?
31.
31st. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of non-public session number 2 and unseal the minutes. Yeah, we should, you both take a look at that and see if you agree with it.
And unseal it?
Yeah. Doesn't say anything that's really important, I don't think. What do you think, Chris? Wait till we find out whether we...
I think we should I think we should keep it sealed because
Okay.
we don't know, because it's
What
pending.
litigation may be
Yeah.
coming.
Okay,
I think we should probably keep that one sealed.
then check sealed.
You make the motion that we keep it sealed?
Yep,
I
we approve the
second.
minutes and
Second it?
seal them.
All those in support of the motion say aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Aye. That's for session 2?
2, yep.
Okay, I think we got everything that was in the yellow folder.
Administrator
Oops.
updates will be quick today, I guess.
He's
Administrator
still, he's
updates.
still asleep, so we don't have to worry about
Administrator's
that.
updating, he's having,
Commissioners,
the weather's
updates?
fine, wish you were here.
Do we have anything to report on from the commissioners?
All I had down, where we already spoke about it, these 2 kids working in that hole yesterday, boy, they did a yeoman's work.
Before I forget it, would you have Ken write up a thank you for this Mary Jane Pettingill for her work on the cemetery? And we'll sign it. Commissioners updates.
We haven't had any meetings.
No. Regarding the blueberries, somehow or other, we need to purchase the chemical. I'm not sure how that's gonna be handled.
We'll gotta have to find the money. Is it expensive?
And I think an order should be put in through probably Lucille up here. Posts would have to be ordered, they don't carry that kind of a thing, and it's a 2.5 gallon container. So Will would have to get that ordered and find money.
Okay.
I have no idea what it would cost. It's gotta be less than $100 anyway. Okay, anything else regarding commissioners?
No? But Chris has got something.
Public input? Nothing? Okay, the office is closed Monday. Resident breakfast is the 21st. New Hampshire Association of Counties Convention in Portsmouth, 21st through the 23rd. You got
Yeah,
yours in? Chris, are you going or not going?
I don't think
Not
I'll be able
going?
to go, it's a Wednesday, right, yeah.
Okay, I'm not staying overnight. I'll stay with my son or daughter.
I'm only going for the banquet.
You're only going for the banquet?
Is that on the
I'm not staying.
21st or,
That's,
that's Friday?
I don't remember, Chris.
don't
I
remember
think
either.
it's Friday.
Okay.
It would be good if you could go to the banquet, since we got a
Yeah,
number of
some folks.
people to receive the awards.
Good
When
thing
you get
we're
it-
keeping it top secret, huh?
What's that?
Good thing we're keeping it top secret.
Yeah. When you get a chance, would you get the write-ups for those people? Like to see a copy of that? I would hope that each of us can give out the awards and each of us can take one of those individuals to give them the award, read off whatever you want to say about the individual. Okay?
We forgot to do this, David,
What is it?
and we forgot to do this.
What is that?
That's Ken's contract, and Chris
Oh.
wanted to speak about it. And here's the basket of goods for the convention.
Yeah.
Chris, we should do that in,
In non-public.
yeah.
And, yeah, and I asked for that just because I thought that was something we were going to be, was part of the agenda today. So I wanted to make sure that was available to us, so, we knew the terms and conditions upon which to consider.
Well, we blew it and didn't put it on the
So,
agenda, so we'll wait.
We can just wait till next week, that's fine. I just, like I said, if it was nothing pressing, I just thought
Thank
it
you
was part.
for reminding us to do that. I had forgotten that was part of his contract.
So anybody got any ideas on,
Yeah, we get some maple syrup and some blueberries from up there in Eaton. Put it in a big basket, put my name on it.
I thought you'd like to do that. You wanna see that gets done? Take on that big responsibility? Seriously, are there any items that we could, what's Carroll County noted for?
Tourism, we could send some bathing suits.
Well, the
Ticket to
timing's a
the
little too
Forestry
soon, but
products,
apples,
tourism, what's that?
the timing's probably a little too soon, but apples, at least where I live, apple picking is big, because I live very close to Development Farm, so. So,
How about, can we con Mount Washington into a 2-day, into a couple of passes for around the lake?
I have no contacts there, I don't know what the possibilities might be. That's in Belknap County, right?
Well, it stops here in Wolfboro.
Oh, it does, you're right, you're right. Okay, that's a possibility. This is coming up pretty quick. Like the 21st. Any forestry products? Restaurant products? Guess we're not getting very far, are we?
Well, I'm just trying to read it. If they're trying to look for one thing, or they want 10 things from us?
No, they
Basket.
one from each county, 10 counties.
A basket with the products in it, I read it, as I read it.
Basket of goodies.
Okay.
Unique to your county, said it would give us 10 door or raffle prizes.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Recipes for chocolate chip cookies.
No, we get the chocolate chip cookie monster downstairs, get him to cook.
Could you get something like from different, I mean, there'd have to be gift certificates,
Yeah.
but Sandwich Creamery is,
Right.
I mean, that's unique to Carroll County.
What is?
Sandwich Creamery, ice cream
Yeah.
and cheeses, they do all of that.
I think we could call, it'd be a situation where, we would call, like, some amusement places, like Storyland, maybe they'd be interested.
Ooh, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
To provide something like that. Maybe the Mount Washington Hotel would provide a couple nights stay,
Good luck with that.
That's pretty.
If they
Or
go
a,
big.
or a
That's
one
thinking
night,
outside the box.
a one-night stay for 2 people. Well, they'll get name mentions, they'll get recognition for it.
Sure.
And what we would do would, to help supplement that, is that we would give them publicity for doing that. They'd get it here, we announce at the meeting, we could, maybe, send a letter to the editor naming the people who did contribute. And you said local restaurants, I mean, in my business, I'm constantly handing out coupons for local charities, stuff like that. So,
I like
And you got a
Storyland.
coupon?
I like Storyland.
Yes.
there's
That's a good suggestion.
Attitash,
Maybe a ski
Yeah.
pass, maybe.
ski pass to, you just call and they get complimentary ski pass. I mean, it'd probably be midweek, you know, it wouldn't be maybe during
We
their
need to
prime
have
time, but it would
Somebody's got to
be,
contact with these people though, to get into them, get into it.
I would think most of them have some individual that's, what would you call them? It wouldn't be the human resource person.
Marketing?
But there's some marketing or some sales, somebody's,
yeah. I mean, it's something that, the problem is the time frame that we have now is, so it's like, you know, we're finding about it now, it's, you know,
he just sent the letter out here 2 days ago.
you know,
This is the second time they've sent it.
so.
I will try to get in touch with Storyland. I might have a contact there.
Just trying to think.
When is the hog mud bowl, not the hog, but the mud bowl?
Coming right up, yeah, pretty quick.
Is it the end of September? Free ticket to the mud bowl?
I'll contact the people at Mount Washington, Boat Mount Washington, to see if I can
Okay,
get
that'd be
a
great.
couple cruise tickets.
Yep,
Um,
okay.
That's not our county.
Commissioner Babson,
I'll
you
call
know a
Scott.
lot of people.
I'll call Storyland.
You gonna call Storyland?
Yeah.
Okay,
I like Chris's idea.
yeah. Um,
Oh, you know what, how about that monkey swing up there in Tamworth?
Monkey trunks?
John-
monkey,
Monkey trunks, it's that,
What?
monkey trunks, the zip lines and that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Monkey chunks? I'll call
Monkey
them.
trunks.
great.
Tuckerman's Brewery in North Conway might be willing to donate. I saw some
I will-
stuff from
I'll call them,
Tuckerman's?
yeah.
If
My
you get
wife-
2 six-packs, they go in the basket. It isn't one for you and one for the basket.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
But they may have like, brewery tour,
Yes, they do.
you know, and then you get a little tasting afterwards and stuff like that.
Yep.
I know they do that at Red Hook, but so maybe Tuckerman's does something like that.
My wife knows the owner of the, so,
Um,
okay.
Weren't they 2 kids that came from California about 10 years ago?
They are?
I said, weren't they 2 kids? that
I don't
came
know.
from- I think they did, I met them. They were converting, I think, Coca-Cola bottling machines into beer bottling, and they've done an amazing thing.
Yes, they have.
Boy, it's really popular.
I don't know if they have six-packs. Yeah, they must have.
Yeah,
Tuckerman's?
yeah.
Must have,
Oh, yeah, they do.
okay. Okay. Anything else?
No,
Yeah,
No?
I'll try a couple. I'll try Attitash, Wildcat, and,
well,
oh.
you're over there at
Yeah, that's in
Gunstock.
Belknap. That's in Belknap, though, county. It's the wrong county.
Yeah.
Well, we can't
They may be
stretch
getting
it.
Belknap, they may be.
Belknap probably already took care of them.
Yeah, but,
When'd you change
Black
jobs?
Mountain?
Once you
Is that what it's
change
called?
jobs, you go up
What is
to
it?
The one in Jackson, is that called Black Mountain?
Black Mountain, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's also
There's Wildcat, Attitash, Black Mountain,
This- What's the small one over there?
King
in-
Pine.
In Moultonborough too, there's a little.
King Pine.
There's one in Moultonborough?
Yeah,
No, there isn't.
yes, there is.
It must be really
There is-
small.
It is it's a small family,
Run?
yeah. It's
Where is it?
It's a clothesline that doesn't,
Yeah.
No, it's not.
where is it?
There's
There is
Adam-
no-
I'll look it up and I'll show you. It's right as you're coming in on 25. I don't remember the name of the road, right before you get to the elementary school. There's
Yeah.
that road out there.
It
It's
goes out, it goes
it's
out
out.
to the loon preservation.
No, it's on the left before you get to the elementary school.
That's right, that's the road.
Yeah,
No, the loon is on the right past the elementary school.
Well, which way are you coming?
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming from my house.
Okay.
So you're on the right, same road.
Same,
So it's on the
right.
left before you get to that, right as you get to that curve where the little bridge is, it's right out there. I'll
Go
get,
Red Hill,
is that Red Hill Road out there?
yeah. But
Oh,
they don't-
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, yeah. It's on the left-hand side coming north.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a ski?
There is, it's not huge, but it's very family oriented. It's great for kids that are beginning, and even my friend goes there with her kids who are like
When do
11
they,
and 12
when do
years
they
old.
operate? June
Wolfboro has
1st,
one too, Abenaki.
June 1st to
Yeah,
June
it's similar to that,
25?
yeah.
What's that?
I just said, when does this famous ski area operate? June 1st to June 25? I've been all over this county, I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
Well, you haven't been there. There's a
No.
farm out that way too.
I know.
Big hay farm, I believe. Okay. Oh, you know something else is if we had, is that, what is it, the lactate farm that has goat's milk? Down in Brookfield?
Oh, yeah, that would be a good one. Their timestamp on their food went sour about 2 years ago.
They haven't
They
been
went
around
out
for a
of
while.
business. They went out of business about 2 years ago.
They did?
Yep. Jenny and Andy. They
Yeah,
went-
yeah,
they-
yeah.
They took their RP and went south, and they sold the place, and they've come back, and they're not doing it, and I don't think the people that bought it are doing it. Maybe they are.
Oh,
but I
really?
don't
They,
think so.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. He's on the Farm Bureau, right?
Yeah.
So he's still raising beef animals?
No, they get nothing. They sold
Nothing.
out.
Well, we were speaking
Okay.
in jest about the maple syrup, but that's certainly a good idea. I mean,
Well, I
it's
got a
something that's
quart.
gonna keep, it's something that's gonna keep. You know? It's not like it's gonna
So I
spoil.
don't
If this
Hey,
had-
hey, don't we get a maple syrup from the guy that does the tapping on county land?
Supposed to.
Check with Will.
What do you mean check with Will? You made the deal with him, you called.
No, Will's got it. Will made the deal. Check with Will and see if we
Okay.
got
See if we
that.
can get some syrup through that.
And if we have to use yours, David, I don't think you should have to be able, you should donate it. We should pay you for doing it. You know, it's a standard price.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's either that or somebody else can donate it. I'm not saying it has to be
Okay.
you, but it's just something that
Yeah.
is indigenous certainly to Carroll
Well-
County in that somebody else
He either gives us a
can
check
find somebody else to donate it.
at 75 cents a tap, or he gives us maple syrup.
He's supposed to give us both.
I don't know.
You guys raised this thing by 25 cents a tap, and you were supposed to get one gallon for promotion
Yeah,
anywhere around here.
okay. Check with Will and see if
I will,
he got the gallon
I will,
and hasn't told us about it.
I will.
Okay, anything further?
Isn't there anything really unique to our county that we could come up with? I mean, is there a
Piece of
wood
granite?
product that's
Piece of
made? Is
granite
there
or wood?
stone? You know what's really unique is that feller over there off of just 153 that tumbles stones and then shapes them into bowls and stuff.
I'm not familiar with that.
At 153?
Yeah. You turn on 153 and before you come to the bridge,
Yeah.
there's a little road that goes up by the, now goes up by the
Town hall.
the town office
Yeah,
of Effingham. About the second house on the left.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Didn't know that.
stuff is beautiful.
And that's stone.
Stone. We get a lot of them, man.
What about wood? What about a free parking space at the National Forest? I wonder if the Forest Service gives out any free ones.
You can call.
You know who would be, a good candidate for this would be King Pine.
Yeah, put
Is there
them,
Are they on your list, Chris?
yeah,
Okay,
Call Bob Hoykin.
Bob Hoyt?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, anything else we want to talk about? Are we ready to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
second,
All those in support of the motion say aye.
aye.
Aye. So voted.
Sorensen, did I
See you
steal
next
one of
week.
your pens?